I'll take it easy on the highly trained reviewers today. Don't worry, guys. I won't take up 2.5 hours of your time today, okay? You ever notice that in the very morning, early in the morning is when it seems like, I don't know, demons are they're just like there waiting for you. As soon as they're like hovering over your bed, just waiting for you to wake up into their world. Like, come on, wake up already. I really appreciate Killer Whale coming up and just sticking up for what's right, and Justin on the same day. Guys, your check is in the mail, all right? You know, in the beginning, I remember I was threatened my life that they were gonna they're gonna come to my house and shoot me with AK-47 and drag my body out. And it was in the beginning. It was when I was really starting to, well, not the beginning, but the beginning of coming against the king of YouTube, RFB. And at first I took it seriously, right? It was a time where I was just being, I remember as soon as I did a video about somebody else who said something good and I took their channel, I showed it to people. It was that day. I can't remember for who was it, what, because I've done it to like I don't know, like 2 million people. So I've done it for a lot of channels, and then I went to the cops, right, just one time, because I wanted to, because I know that's what they want you to do. They want you to go. They want you to keep making reports. They want you to, when they're following you around and you know it's obvious, they want, you know, when FedEx is, they're just driving normally because that's what they do. They deliver packages. But I know better not to go there to them because I wanted to hear what the cop had to say about it. I told him my life was threatened. Here, look, they told me they're gonna come to my house and shoot me with AK-47, drag my body out. I'm just letting you know in case it happens that way. I mean, if I get killed, you'll know it's because of this person right here. They're like, well, how often do you because YouTube, he's like, how often do you go on YouTube and make videos? I'm like, well, every single day. He's like, well, you think maybe you should just get off and, you know, put it away and just stop? Oh, man. Thanks, officer. Good advice. It's like, stop spreading the absolute truth that you see because somebody threatened your life. It's like I needed to hear that from the cop to know, to get that fire lit under me even more. And that's all. That's what these situations do. They just get you fired up. Not like pissed off fired up, just fired up. That it gets at, it's like it's, I don't know, you know, you go to the gas station, you got to get some gas, and you got to get some oil. It's oil. You got to get oil in your lamp. There you go. That way you can trim your lamp all the time and stay fired up. It's not, this isn't turning into fighting back and forth, back and forth. I've already done that. It doesn't work. All it does is just makes you look like a fool. And I'm tired of looking like a fool. I'm tired of falling into that trap. I mean, sometimes, you know, things are funny when it's done in good humor, which is what I try to do. But there were times I really got pretty pissed off, and I'd retaliate with whoever it was. This time around, it's like, no, I'm not falling for the trap. Sorry, I've made that mistake back then. I'm done with it. If you don't want to accept my olive branch people, anybody who I would, you know, here's what I want somebody to do. If you give me a thumbs down, can you just tell me who you are? I just want you to say, hey, I'm the one that gave you a thumbs down. I don't like you. Or something. I can't stand what you're saying. You make me sick. Can you show your face as to who you are? Like, at least what... I mean, in all likelihood, it's just one person, maybe two. It's always... You know, if it fluctuates, is it a big deal? Of course not. It's not a big deal. But the test is, who has... Can you stop hiding? Can you stop hiding and be like, hey, I am the one that gave you the thumbs down with all 4 of my accounts, or 5. Or, yeah, I gave you thumbs down, I only have 1 account. And then, can you just, in this video, can you please just address yourself and not be a coward? Don't stay behind a computer. Just tell me what you didn't like. You know what I mean? I'm curious. I really am. Because whatever's forcing you to take your finger and push the one that's going to hell, to pushing the hell thumb dislike instead of the heavenly up, like, hey, Fonzie, you know, hey, it's all good, everything's cool. I'm gonna stop judging you for your beliefs, and I'm just gonna show you some respect for the fact that, I don't know, that you've been on every single freaking day for 33 minutes a day, Rob. I can't take it. I can't freaking sleep. Oh my God. I mean, just be honest with me, man. Tell me. Is it because it's 33 minutes long? Would you give me a thumbs up if it was like less than a half hour? Because I know people have that job, and I know people pretend that they don't. And there's some people that I thought they did, and they're not. And there's some people that I thought they might have been, and I'm thinking they're not now, but they probably are. But I'm trying to tell everybody, I'm at this point where I don't give a shit who's who anymore. I just want to see how your spirit reacts towards my words that are coming out of my mouth. How do I get a reaction out of people? And no, I'm not into mind control. The theory of whatever it is that they do. I'm not into it. I don't get it. I don't believe it. I don't see it. It's not happening to me. It should happen to me already. I should have been freaking dead, I guess. I mean, it's like these threats, all these things that are happening, all the fear porn that's out there, especially from RFB's channel. And it's like when I come against RFB, why do people stick up for him? I don't know. Why do you... Can you not... You can't tell that he's reading his script. Is that what it is? Can you not tell? Even when he's driving... Whatever. Even when he's driving, okay? camera's over here, right? Somewhere over there, I guess, up in the... It's driving here. I don't know, guys, you can't tell. Or is it that you can tell? Is it that you do know? Is it because I am saying the truth? Is it because I nailed it dead on, and Richie gets his employees to come after me no matter what? Is that the case? Because I have a feeling that it might be. And then, who would stick up for the AM TV guy, man? You can't tell that he's a reader also? He's just very good at it? Like, does any... Listen, this is what I'm saying. I can't trust anybody, right, who reads from a script. I'm not saying people that read from their own notes. I'm saying people that have other people write them notes and they just freaking read it. I don't trust you. Not at all. I always look to see, and here's the key, okay? I just want people to know this. The way I've understood it, unless they have 10 different screens everywhere, when your eyes are glued to something, excuse me, when your eyes are glued, all right, not when you're driving, well, I mean, when you're pretending you're driving, if your eyes are glued there, this is where your script is. If your eyes are glued over there, there's your script's over there. If your eyes are glued over here, your script's over here. If your eyes are glued right here, where's the script? Now, I can't remember the channel. It's just another 250,000+ subscribers. The kid guy, I don't know, he kind of weird looking, but he talks about Bible prophecy, and you can tell he doesn't know. He's just reading because he's just reading. But he looks directly into the camera all the time. However, there's always editing and an interruption where he remembers his line, he speaks into the camera, and then, like it says in Luke 5:23, and then, or like it says in Luke, and then it goes to the verse, and then it takes the camera off of his eyes, and then he talks again straight into the camera. But no more than 10 seconds is there like a switch, a shift, a change. It's like the editing, the camera, or it zooms into him more, and then it comes back, and it goes this, it shows the verse. That's about as close as you can get to trying to be authentic. But I look at people's eyes, and I see where they go, and you can just always freaking tell that if it's stuck on something a little bit too much, other than right here, and they're giving this information out, like you know, important information that you're supposed to believe or not. That's kind of how I go by it, because who can possibly remember all of their lines? Who can do that? I would be a horrible actor, because I wouldn't be able to read the lines, the scripts, pretend to be. I just go by the flow, push record, and think and talk, and that's how it works. That's how I've done it, and it's always better for me. Like when I clicked on the last one, the MTV, the AMTV guy, I clicked on it. I heard the first half a minute of what he's saying, and the video I think was 7 minutes long. If I listen to it, it'll throw me off. If I just get my my costume, right, and I just put it on and push record, and because I already know his moves and, you know, the things he does, and just like all over the place. When I do that, I feel like I get into a better groove. I feel like I get into a better groove with the character that I'm doing. So yeah, I was threatened for my life, but when people do it today, like the last Nat, the last Nat, I believe he was threatening. I mean, talking about me and Lefty. Me and Lefty, we're threatening his life. Okay. Lefty and Righty, I guess, are threatening his life. You mean spiritually? You mean the you mean by slaying your spirit to the truthful spirit, the one that's not scared, the one that doesn't live in fear, the one that didn't flee to the mountains? If you were told this year, man, that you really need to go get a piece of land up in the mountains, you really need to go flee there, and when you remember from last year when I said if people are buying a bunker this year, you just might want to get your money back, throw back your 30 pieces of shekels, and just say no thanks. So when people are going up there, I just say this anymore, and it's not a threat. It's just, I can promise you that God, the creator of the entire universe, including yourself, is going to show you something that he's going to show you what you shouldn't have done. And a lot of times, a lot of things is just common sense. When I talk about things that people ought to do, and if you do not do, then you'll find out through God when he kicks your heart through your back, and gives you that feeling. It's the same as my son. Like, I don't want my son to have to learn the way that I learned, because the way I learned was just it was completely on my own, just growing up completely on my own, and just learning the hard way by doing it wrong first and then doing the other. Yeah, in the end, you're stronger that way, but don't you think you're stronger if you can know that and know not to do that, and then get the same result by doing it right? I mean, you don't have to deal with all the demons that tear you down and bring you down. I try to get people aware of, okay, I don't care what you believe in. I don't care if you I mean, it doesn't matter to me. I'm not saying I don't care. It doesn't matter to me which way or another. I'm not judging people for their belief in, well, let's say the church age. You still believe the church age is in existence because you don't believe that it ended like 30 years ago. I tend to believe that it did, because you just hear about everything in the churches that had happened. You see that this, like the main church people on TV that you watch, but at the same time, I still get certain valuable information from people that are teaching on TV also, or I mean on YouTube or whatever, because I'm still listening. This is why, because I have an open mind, right? And I don't allow the demons to slither in there and just try to make me think what they want me to think. I listen and I can hear, okay, he's still looking at that literally. It's still true, but he still only sees it literally. And my sense is I'm seeing it spiritually, both ends of it. Once you see both ends of it, then it absolutely makes sense. So I'm not condemning anybody that's still in the churches, or anyone that's preaching in the churches, because how are you really supposed to know? I mean, we were warned. We did have a warning 7 years ago. It was a warning. That's what it was. It's like there's a beginning of a warning, and then there's the ending of a warning. And it just so happens that the guy died, you know. So it makes it all that much more better for me spiritually to understand that that was the purpose of it. It's like, who's going to listen to a dead man? Who's going to hold on to a dead man's doctrine when he was obviously a false prophet from the beginning? Because he set all these dates and nothing happened, and he tormented the people on earth. Because, you know, I can literally see that when I was listening to Scott about these dates, like, well, it's November 11th, and no earthquake. No, I mean, I didn't say an earthquake is happening. I didn't say anything is happening on 11/11. I didn't say, I don't remember saying anything. A lot of other people did, but I'm just looking more towards the end of the year. Everything that the king of YouTube, Richie from Boston, you know, the boss, the one that runs this show, you know, the one that promoted the van life with the app that, you know, you go to stalk people and you do a job here and there, handyman job. But I understand that there's just flat out liars out there, and they love it. They love to lie. I don't love any liars at all. I despise liars. You know, the lying demon makes me sick. I want to chop the lying demon in half with my sword. And that's what I do when they try to come at me, because they can no longer penetrate. They can no longer penetrate me because I have the full armor of God, okay? And I remember asking Derek from a Globature, well, what about your back? You mean there's no back armor? What happens when someone stabs you in the back? And that was, yeah, I was kind of trolling him a little bit after he, you know, just with the delusion of just coming against me of and not seeing that SJD was joking around with that alien bit. I mean, the first time I seen SJD with a sense of humor. And so I said, what about the back? He said there is no back armor. There's the helmet of salvation, there's the breastplates of armor. You know, I guess you get some shoulder pads there on the side. But what about your back? I guess that's reserved spiritually for, well, who does have your back? Who has your back? The full armor of God. When godly people have your back, well, that's the armor right there. They got your back. They're the ones that are healing the wounds. Like Killer Whale, Angela, I believe that's your name. The nurse. Yeah, you literally got my back. I've been stabbed a few times. I've had wounds, but I've also, at the same time, fought back at the same people. And some knives just stayed. They're not gonna apologize for anything. But I'm not looking for anybody's apology. But if you do apologize, I very do much appreciate it, and I absolutely accept it like that. There's no conditions. It's not like, well, I don't know, guys. I'll forgive you if you do this, that, in that way, in this particular direction, and you say it a specific amount of times. Like, it's either or. Peace out. So towards the end of this YouTube ordeal that I'm feeling right now, I am trying to make amends with every one of my enemies. And if you still want to consider me your enemy, just know that you are not my enemy. I am your enemy because you make me your enemy. I'm calling it truce with everybody I've ever come against, every account, every person that I don't know what you look like, but I know, but you're famous from your account name. Because just like April 7th, okay, I know a lot of people deny it because they say rumors of wars have started. It's been going on forever, okay? I get it. But the only problem is the elite and the ones that are coming after me for it, obviously, they're the ones that know. And it is funny how me and Justin went full circle, okay? Because he had my back with April 7th, talking about war, because not that he has any information other than what the Spirit sends to his pineal gland. But even to him, up until today, up until yesterday, up until a few days ago, even he still had some type of suspicion towards me about being somebody higher up in the rankings because of my information that I get from the top of my head. And because of the people who have either commented away or called or talked to or texted, whatever it is that they did, feeding him information, trying to get him against me. And then at the same time, it's just everybody's getting weird. And then I'm telling people to make a stand for SJD. You know, will the real Jesus Christ please stand up? And look, Steve, here's the deal. If people don't realize this and know what you're saying is true, right? However, you're leaving out, you know, how Christ is, like, inside us and everything. But what you're leaving out is that you're not the only one. It's all of us. Yes, it is new information. Yes, it all makes sense. But no, it's not just you, my Lord. Okay? It's all of us. We are all exactly the same. The body of Christ. And the head of Christ is the head of God's. The head of every man is the head of Christ. And the head of every woman is the head of every man, because man and woman are one. We're all one. Everybody's one. So what I'm getting at is, once that prediction came around, and it happened, and lo, it did happen. That's the beginning of, and lo, it did and will come to pass. That one came to pass. And Justin was the only one that publicly rose up and said, I have your back, Robin. And because of that, and then after that, and then, because that was April, the beginning of April, May, June, July. It took 3 months, because I said make a stand for SJD. But even before that, they were feeding Stephen. They were feeding Justin with information, and it kind of worked to get him to turn against me in a sense, and then I turned against him, and then the satyrs turned against me, and I turned against them, and then Tyler Moe turned against me, and I turned against him, and I did the mockery videos, and I wouldn't want to watch the mockery videos, because if I did, I'd feel like a dumb freaking jackass by doing it. So, because the elite have tried this, and I think there's only a few people, there's only a couple on my channel that are truly my enemies, because they were assigned to watch me from the beginning, and they see that, well, he's absolutely telling the truth. We know he's telling the truth because we're watching him. And we got to shut him the hell up. We got to threaten his life. We got to get him off there. We can't physically do it ourselves. We need him to do it. Because that's what the elite does. They want you to volunteer to go to the FEMA camps. Okay? So, what I'm saying at this time now, elite, I am busting through. Okay? That veil that you have there, that deception that you've put in people's heads to turn against me and to turn against each other, I'm ripping straight through it, and I'm showing you guys that I do have the ability to bring people back, to bring people who have absolutely completely different opinions all throughout the world to all come together and get along and stop judging each other for having different beliefs. Because to me, that's the most annoying thing that I can deal with is, fine, if you believe something literal, if you believe something this, you believe that, that's okay, because I at one time believed the same thing. And then I realized knowledge increases, and I feel like my knowledge increased. I'm not prideful for saying that because it's in the Bible. It's what you're supposed to do. Does everybody have a sense of pride in a direct? Yes, we all do. But it's a matter of pumping your chest like, I told you guys. I told you. Because I have the script in front of me and I read it 2 years ago. And everything I say is coming true. Here's the bottom line, everybody. You can take it for what you want. I know April 7th came around. I know I nailed that date exactly as to what happened on that date. And people that are very nervous of dates, when I set them, maybe it's because you know that that date came absolutely true. And when I start setting more, it's fear porn for the people that don't fear God. So yes, I put fear porn out there to make you fear the Lord. And I feel like He gives people specific tasks to do on YouTube, and they work individually. And that's why I thought so many people were agents, because why would you spend so much time talking about this stuff when you have a job and you're not getting paid for this? And then I look at myself like, wait a minute, I'm doing the same thing. I am completely dedicated to this for free. And I do it forever. And I still hold on to my job. It's amazing to think about, right? It's crazy. Nobody can do that. So God is relaying the message to me. Everybody better put down their weapons, because He's going to make you eat your weapons.